Good morning and welcome to episode 8-5. That's a big 8 and a 5. With me, Andy Reid, the big Andy Reid, and the small, losing tons of weight, Adam Walker.
I've been on holiday half the week. And been eating fish and chips in Scarborough.
All that hard work for your triathlon.
Undone.
In 1 week.
No, it's not. Look, I put the belt on this morning. I was like, okay, that's
a sign.
That we're still in the same belt hold.
Very good stuff. I was going to ask how your busy week has been, but it's been holidaying.
I was in yesterday, but yeah, it has been pretty much.
Good on
chilling
you,
out,
my
maxing,
friend.
Relaxing, as Fresh Prince said.
Yeah, but as we also said, it's
age.
important. We've also said, though, it's important to relax.
Yeah, no, it was good. Went away, little family break. Went to water park in Scarborough, which was hilariously fun. Walking, beach.
Yeah.
Did all of it, really. It was good. Had a really nice time. How was your week of work? Well, it's been a short week for you because it's bank holiday week.
Yeah, it's been bank holiday week. But yeah, very good. Finished off my automation project for a customer. That's very good. Been doing catching up with other work. More demonstrations about Microsoft Copilot. Really
good.
Taking off. Yeah, we need to get you sorted. We need.
Absolutely.
I'll send you.
We
an invite.
keep saying we need to do.
No, but I'll send you an invite as soon as I get back upstairs.
We never have time to do. Yeah. Other than this, we never have time. I was actually thinking maybe we just need to do the team stuff we're on about? Maybe we just put the mics live and do it while they're sat in the room.
What a great podcast that is.
Yeah, I know. I was too going, how do we do this?
How do we do that? Hang on a minute. I'll just ask Copilot.
Yeah. So no, it's a very short week for me.
Yeah.
But I was working yesterday, and yeah, things are moving, things are happening. It's just busy, really busy.
Which is good, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, working on that branding project I touched on the other week.
I was going to ask about that.
Presenting it to board for final sign-off on Wednesday next week. So we've got
drum roll. So next Friday's podcast could
hopefully
be a nice announcement.
You've brought somebody in the room.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
What's your name? Where do you come from?
I'm Liam.
Just Liam, like Prince.
Yeah. It's more of a title than a name.
I like him already.
Yeah, the new apprentice at Resilient as of 3 weeks now.
3 weeks ago?
Yes, I did have the pleasure of meeting you. I think it was on day one.
Yes.
Because I ran
really
in.
Put me off for a while. But
but they managed to hold on to you.
Yeah, exactly. We tried our best to get rid of him.
So was that 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So what I want to do is just rewind a touch. How old are you? Obviously you've gone for the apprenticeship. What are your feelings about going down that route?
Yeah. Well, I'm 19 as of again a couple of weeks ago. But I decided I wanted to do an apprentice because I've always liked the education side of things, and I decided, well, if I can work and get something out of it, it would serve me so much better than uni. And I did really want to go to uni when I was younger. And then as soon as I kind of came out of the college environment, I was like, I can't do it. I'm going to go and just do something. And then I looked, and then I saw this job, and I was just like, that's the one, I'm doing it. And then I got the interview, and the rest is history.
As they say.
Yeah. I mean, Alina, off camera there, she did the apprenticeship scheme through Darlington College.
Yeah.
And finished in December 23. Is that correct? Nodding. Yes, good.
Got it right. Well,
all the years are just
I know.
blurring into one. So apprenticeship is a fantastic route. From my point of view as an employer, it is brilliant to bring someone in, have someone contributing and getting involved and stuck in. Also made me look at myself. Have you had to look at yourself yet?
Definitely.
Yeah, in terms of how I explain things, how I do things. Because you can't just go, you click this, and it just works.
No, as I say, one thing I have been saying to customers is when they've said, how's your week? I've been saying, the new apprentice, he's great. But from our point of view, I'm going, well, a job that would normally take me 15 minutes is now taking me 45 minutes, but God bless it. He's like, but why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? And I'm going, okay, fair point. Why am I doing that? And explaining.
Yeah. So is your apprenticeship with Darlington College?
Yes.
There you go, Darlington College crew. Brilliant. So have you started the classroom stuff at the college yet?
Yeah. But ironically, we've done. I'm not in college for the next 2 weeks.
Look at you.
Still doing the work. It's
yeah.
Yeah, so it's just running through the basics and stuff for now.
Yeah.
But then it'll hopefully get more interested in more things that I can, do a bit of at the college and then come in and be like, can I do this then? Because I've just learnt that, which hopefully will be good.
Okay, so my next question is why IT?
This is an interesting one.
Yeah, like, so what's your what like for going down this route? And the answer can be, just feels like the right step or whatever. But why IT?
So I could say that, but I'll try and be more interesting. I have always liked IT. Like, it's hard to explain. Like, I've never had the interest in the technical stuff, but I've always liked you can do all this. You can do. I can't believe you can do that on your computer or whatever. And then, in the past few years, I had a friend who started working at CEX.
Yep.
And he would come into my room before we'd go to volleyball, and he would always take apart my PC and go, this is this, and so on and so on. And I would sit there and be like,
are you going to put it back together again? Before you leave?
I want to play again.
and I'd be like, cool, but how do you know that? And he was like, well, I just picked it up because I started researching it. And then it made me kind of go, well, I'm going to have a quick look, because you never know when you might do it. And then I was just like, oh, this is actually really quite interesting. So then but then I kind of forgot about it. And then I came across The Apprentice when I was looking for apprentices. And I was like, I'm going to give that a go, because I know I've got the interest in it. I just might have forgotten that I've got the interest.
Yeah.
And then, everything's just been quite interesting.
Well, I think it's a bit hard to go, how do I want to work in IT, but as you will have experienced already, it's so broad in terms of what you can deal with, from hardware to networking, to all the different areas, storage, the lot. To teams, by teams, everybody.
That's my line.
Yeah, but and then it's like, okay, so where do I go to do that? And I think IT is one of those interesting things. And Andy, please jump in. You actually fill a nice gap in the market, because there are some large IT consultancy companies out there. Oh
gosh, yeah, absolutely.
And I mean big, but to someone entering the job market, they can be, and I've worked with others. They can feel quite untouchable, I think. How do you go from, like you say, a bit of an interest in gaming into there, and then you find the nugget of resilient systems that are doing all of these things at scale with multiple different businesses.
Yeah, I think the difficulty is for somebody like that, if we take some of the big companies, and they're fantastic, they would always want a background history in IT. Because obviously they want that person to hit the ground running hard. Like, right, you're on the help desk from day one. Obviously, when Liam came to us, my first question was, what's your background IT? What's your history? None. I think you used to work at McDonald's, and then had a couple of other jobs. So it was a bit of a gamble, but and I can say this in front of Liam, his enthusiasm shone through, and I can work with enthusiasm. But it is literally like teaching somebody the basics. But that also means that he will learn the basics and he will grow, because when I got into computers, I started at that low level, and I've still got that low level understanding, which means that I'm just getting hopefully more and more experienced. So the same thing with Liam. But I can work with the experience. He's very hungry for knowledge. He's constantly butting in and asking bloody questions.
You're fitting perfectly there. I think that's great. I think I've said this before. My entry to the world of tech, very tech orientated in my outlook, was I was growing up and my mates had a gaming PC. It's often the gaming PC that gets people in it. And Mum was like, well, if you want to get one, get a job. So I got a job as a pot wash. And then as I was saving up, I realised that I could, if I built one, I would make significant savings as opposed to just buying a pre-built, or I'd get more bang from a buck and this and the other. So I was like, do I know how to build a computer? Nope. And I learnt from friends. And
YouTube wasn't around.
No, YouTube. Don't say that. That sounds so old. Oh my. Yes, YouTube wasn't around.
YouTube's older than me.
Yeah, don't say that. Yeah, YouTube wasn't around. It wasn't around. But so it was just like the year before. No, it wasn't. Thank you for that.
That's all right, mate.
It was probably about 8 years before YouTube.
Yeah.
So that's how I got into it. And it was just the pure motivation of I wanted a computer game PC, and that made me enter the world of employment. That made me then learn technology and this, that, and the other. And then you're going, this isn't working. What's a BIOS?
Yeah.
All this sort of stuff. So yeah, it's a great common in the sense that people are. I like how your mate was walking in and taking it apart there. I think
Didn't even ask.
Didn't he? Yeah. Just,
Hello, mate. How are you? Get out of the way.
did you know this is your processor? I'll just leave it there on the side.
Oh, it's Ben. It wasn't before.
Yeah, exactly. So, what sort of things have you been working on? Obviously, keep clients confidential. But what types of activities have you been doing? Appreciate a lot of it might be learning at this stage.
Yeah, a lot of it is. I'm not really doing any. Luckily, for the sake of this, I'm not really doing any customer work.
No.
Sort of thing. It's a lot of setup of new laptops or refurbishing or Weco and stuff.
See, you've already learned about Weco.
Good, yeah.
But yeah, it's weird because I feel like I've done a lot, but it has been a lot of the same stuff. But what's good is now those things like they can come in and go, we've got a new laptop, do it.
Yeah.
Which is good. But yeah, so you were teaching me about PDQ.
See?
Which was really interesting actually because you were showing me about the packages and stuff yesterday.
This is the thing that you put all the software on with, right?
Yeah, so one of the things that came up yesterday is that the packages can automatically do things like I'll update Google, I'll update whatever. I'm not going to bore you, but there is a certain program that I run to clear down Microsoft, to clear down whatever. Oh, hello, Gemini's kicked in. To clear down, but that program itself expires, as in Microsoft update it.
Right.
So I was teaching Liam, going, look, what we can do is every month I'll put in my diary that I'll go here, click, I'll go to the PDQ server and I'll extract and I'll put it back into where I should do. But I'm like, why do that? So me and Liam spent a whole couple of hours where I automated the whole process, introduced him to PowerShell, introduced him to command lines, introduced him to all of that. And I'm like, watch, click the button. It all went down. And he's just like, wow.
I love it when it all just pings down and you can
works.
physically see it all automating. It's very satisfying.
Yeah, I got really excited just getting it to automate an email. So, hey, Adam, someone's filled out a form. I was like, yes, I've cracked the code. But actually, that is just tip of the iceberg in terms of what you can do. And I think that's where it's so valuable. And automation, we're talking about a huge amount, is going to be a huge part. But obviously, the skills to understand how to do the automation. A lot of clients I'm talking to go, right, someone's going to inquire, and I want this, and this to happen. And I'm like, great, you want to speak to Andy?
Yeah.
It comes down to budget and all of those sort of things. But more people are calling for automation, and that's because it saves you time ultimately.
It really does, and that's what we were saying, work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
And that's something that I'm desperately trying to get over to Liam as well. So even for the fact that, bless him, he has started helping in the ticket system, in the MSP manager, but I introduced him to something called Quick Access, and Quick Access is exceptionally good at typing words, long phrases automatically.
I love it.
Go on then, tell me, I don't know anything. What's it called, sorry?
Quick access.
Right, go on then.
It's like you can they're called snippets.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's basically a little macro you set up by you do a combination or a sequence of buttons and something you wouldn't do, and then when you type that sequence, it might type out like a whole paragraph that you have to type every day, but it'll save you all the time because you only have to press 5 buttons to do it.
Yes, please.
Honestly, it's a free piece of software, and he's got it set up. So I got it set up for Liam the other day. That he basically says, what we've got to do is, and I've been teaching him this SLAs. So an SLA is a service level agreement. If Adam Walker raises a ticket, I have to respond in a prompt, timely manner. Yeah. And what happens is when you raise a ticket, we accept it, and the time basically starts. If I then ask you a question to say, hi, Adam, I know you've said that Outlook is crashing. Can you provide me a bit more detail, X, Y, and Z? I've got to put a time entry onto that ticket because the clock has got to stop.
Yeah.
Quite rightly, I put the ball back into your court. I'm not being bad about that. I'm just
you do. I've responded. I need more info. Yeah.
So what we tend to do is that we have to go, right, we've responded. So the software allows you to go, Liam McAllister, brackets LM, because that's what we do in terms of shortening, has responded to the ticket, awaiting customer response. Now imagine typing that every time, and then you go tab, 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 15 minutes. set up with Liam, quick access pop-up it's called. You do a key combination that you would normally never do. So it's hash, LM entry, hash, and then the software literally goes, Liam and Calcer, brackets LM has, blah, 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 tap, 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 point 25.
Wow.
And it's so good. Because obviously he's like, I type this every time. I'm like, oh, no, you don't.
Yeah, we've got that. Like, because a lot of people, when they inquire, it's an inquiry thing, and this is where we could be better as, like, business owners, people, in terms of dealing with inquiries, is I will always be like, hey, thank you for getting in touch, blah, 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 can I ask you? Because normally there's always more questions.
There normally is.
I never go, if it's like, how much is headshots? I go, here's where, and they'll say, we'll come to the office. Right, I know what that is that I can do. But sometimes I'll be like, can you do headshots somewhere else? I'm like, where is somewhere else? You know,
Aberdeen.
Like, yeah, exactly. It's like, I kind of need to know that. In fact, I had a client go, could you cost this design stuff up? Like, what are you wanting? Like, you know, so there's a bit of back and forth, and I think anything that can help you get to that, you know, like the standard responses is great, doing that, and then obviously you can just add on to the back of that, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely, and that's really good.
Like, I often get people going, can you give us the information on?
Yes.
And that's where
that ties into the other project that me and you were working on for Hubspoke, and that's something that I will show Liam about how when somebody inquires on Adam's website, the email that comes in is a request for information, and then we will use Powered Automate Microsoft Forms, and by the time that person presses send, typically within about 5 minutes they've got the answer, and Adam hasn't touched it.
Yeah, and it's because with that, I like to give prices as soon as we can based on the information that we've been given.
Yeah.
So where possible, that's where we're going to send out a brochure with the price list on, basically, to
automated
to do that, and then that way people can go, well, that's within my budget, or they go, it isn't within my budget, and I'll leave it there.
Yeah, or pick up the phone to you.
Or pick up the phone and
say,
go,
look, you know, I understand this. However, I am wanting you to shoot me in shoot headshots in Aberdeen.
Yeah. So it's there's no one size fits all, unfortunately.
No,
which is a good thing.
No, it is a good thing, and I think the key from Liam's point of view is that even in only 3 weeks, he's been embracing, you know, setting up the new PCs.
Yeah,
he's been WeCoing, PDQ, Automate, the ticket system, time entries, and also getting across to Liam about how etiquette. You know, and he's fine. He's very good with his etiquette and things like that. But, you know, you can get some people that, hi, Andy, is it possible to install your software? No.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the answer is no, but you can't say that.
I had that happen to me yesterday on a phone call.
No way.
Yeah. I'm going to leave it nameless. It wasn't someone we know, but it was an organisation you know. I rung them, and I'll just keep it very vague. And it was like, the answer was, we don't do that specific thing.
Yeah.
Right? Which I'm fine with.
100%.
But the fact the person blurted in, no, we don't do that, before I'd even finished talking.
Yeah, that's a little bit harsh.
Oh, it was like completely bullshit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, right, there's a whole strict, but the problem is this was one element.
Yeah.
It was like, do you do X? And also, I've got Y.
Yes.
That's coming up. So, can X and Y be done together, or do I need to do them separately?
Yeah.
Right? Do you do X? Because what I'm wondering, and then, no, absolutely not, we don't do that. No, you're better off ringing somebody else.
Okay then.
I was like, okay, like completely put off my step.
Yeah.
Like, okay, right, there was other stuff that I was going to talk to you about, but I think I'll just leave it there. And then they try to backpedal a bit, and I'm like, I'm sorry, you've just completely,
absolutely,
like obliterated me,
and it's
like with your manner. And I've filed a complaint basically
why
to what it is, and I'll be ceasing those services.
Absolutely.
So there we go. That's what,
and that's the key etiquette.
That's a phone call yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
And it then was tried to pass off as well. We're all busy. We respect your time. That we don't do it, and therefore that's why I just thought I'd jump in and do it. And I'm like, I get that, but I also respect manners. Like, just honestly, so taken aback.
No, it is difficult. But again, you've got to try and get that across, and that's what we're politely trying to say. At the end of the day, we all have a laugh, and it's like if Adam Walker rings up, it's like, bloody Adam. We have a giggle, we have a laugh. But at the end of the day, we have got a service to provide, and it's got to be done in the most professional, business-like, and polite manner.
Yeah, manners cost nothing, as they always say.
And that's what I was saying to Liam, that whenever you send an email, we had a customer the other day, again, keep it nameless, he raised a ticket, Liam responded quite correctly, and then a couple of days later, that gentleman hadn't responded. So again, it was just like, do you still need help with this ticket? And he literally replied, good, yes, I raised this issue last week. Now, that's fine, and obviously Liam quite rightly went, Andy, and I replied to that gentleman. Yeah. And that's what happened. The gentleman went, I'm really sorry. I've missed that email. But that's great.
But if you responded, yeah, well, we replied to it the other day.
And that's what I showed Liam. I was like, he's in the wrong, bless him, but it's not. He may have missed it. He may have been busy.
It. Yeah, exactly.
People are busy. Yeah. So it was literally the case.
We don't need to get our backs up, do we?
We don't. And that's what I was saying. I was just like, hello, blah, blah, blah. Listen, just to let you know, blah, blah, blah. I'm really sorry that it's still a problem. Can you raise now? Can you ring now? I'll help. He did ring the office and he went, I'm so sorry, Andy, I just completely missed. I went, not a problem, we're all busy. And he went, thank you for your understanding. Anyway, can you jump on my machine and fix it? Absolutely. And at the end of it, he went, Andy, thanks again. I really, really, really appreciate it. Yeah. To me, that was like brilliant.
Yeah.
Everybody's busy, Adam.
Everyone is. And it's the reality. And I think it's hard to sometimes remember that bedside manner when you're just focused on the point.
Well, I will pick up on a very interesting point, and again, it's one of these things. You've obviously, when you were recruiting for Adam, the bearded one, bearded Adam, it's also the etiquette and politeness that the interviewees show. So, just to give an example, Liam the reception downstairs rang. There's a Liam McAllister in the reception area to see you. I came down. Liam had definitely made an effort, suited and booted, and as soon as I walked out of the elevator and said, Liam, he stood up, reached out and shook my hand. Now again, I'm an old-fashioned guy, but I was like, okay, credit where credit's due, that's point one, you've got a plus on your mark already.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas I have had other people going, hello, Adam Walker, and he's just like, yeah. Are you here for the interview? Yeah. Right, would you want to follow? But immediately,
just leave.
Yeah.
I'm currently weighing you up too, sunshine. Deciding whether I want to.
You see what I'm getting at?
I do. No, it's so important to get right. There's a bit of a meme that keeps going out at the moment on socials, and I like email, email, but it's like, hi. So I've got point A to talk about, but you're like, hi, and the meme is, hope you're well. And then it's like, have you done this thing? But it's like, people go, don't say hope you're well, it's disingenuous. I'm like, yeah, but if you equally go, have you done this thing? Straight into, hi, have you done this thing? It's like, well, where's your manner? So the moment I keep seeing these videos, hope you're well, how are you? What I try and do is personalise it. How was that thing that you did the other day? What,
I am of that ilk though, but I will always look, hi, hope you're well, or hi, hope I find you well. Or one of the ones I said, wealth. The one that I tried to do is, I hope I find you well for a tip-top Tuesday.
Yep.
Or a wonderful Wednesday, or a terrific. So it's me, but that's me. But I am like, I always start, hi, hope you're well. I hope I find you well.
And it's me, and I find myself kicking myself when I'm writing about it.
No.
But I do actually genuinely care.
I do care.
I think that's the point.
That's the point. Yeah. And that's the bit that I'm trying to get over to Liam. It's when you are answering that email, you are genuinely, you are talking to a genuine person on the other end.
Yeah.
So, can I install your software? No. The answer is no, but there are better ways to say it. And we've said this before, Adam, where you go, hi, Adam, hope you're well.
Hope you're well.
Thank you for your request. Unfortunately,
on a Freaky Friday.
Yeah, I hope you're well. The answer is no, unfortunately, you can't install the software. This is the reason why, and that's what I'm saying. So the answer is no, but there's a way to do it. There's a way to say it to be respectful.
I think that's the challenge with things like, in fact, I sit on, you were there. College Employers Forum.
Absolutely. So we were at the Darlington College.
We were there, and they were saying, what can we do to support our students in terms of leaving college and going into the world of work? And it wasn't the knowledge, It wasn't the quals, it was all of this.
Yes.
That we're talking about, because ultimately it's the magic moment of all moments when you're dealing with a client. You finally got a client, and it's like you could very easily
No, exactly. We haven't put Liam on the phones yet. That's coming. We want to do that. But in your example, I rang somebody, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago. Again, I'll keep it all nameless, but they just answered the phone. Yeah. I was
sorry about that.
Hello? You went, yep.
Yep.
Can I speak to... Yep, hang on, I'll get him for you.
Yeah. You've got to do it.
I'm sorry, I'm just like, really? So again, one of the things is that Liam will sit with either Michelle, me, or that. But I think if anybody sits and rings to, it's always resilient systems, good morning. It's always a smile, it's always that thing. You can, if you're having a bad day, it's like, resilient systems, what do you want?
You're like, breathe, smile, answer.
And that's what I'm saying. You can't do that.
Yeah.
So hey, it's getting good. It's definitely a baptism of fire.
Absolutely. But good on you. And I think, so you've been refurbing laptops as well, did you say?
Yeah, just...
So what have you been doing there?
That was more of, it was a case of taking out resetting them, taking out the hard drives, ready to be recalled, and then putting an older cleared hard drive in, maybe upgrading the RAM or whatever, and then installing a different OS on and giving them a charity.
Sorry.
So, we've done a feature on this. So what did you install? Andy whispered it. Shh, no one heard that. What did you install, Liam?
Oh, I think I've forgotten. If only someone could... I think the wind might help me just then. Zorin?
Yeah.
But that was interesting because again, from Liam's point of view, you could see he was like, "What's Zorin?"
Yeah, well, I was what's Zorin last year.
Yeah,
and Andy talked about it. Sorry,
and
playing footsie, footsie Friday.
Hey, there we go.
Right. So
hope you're well. Are you playing footsie Friday?
Is it footsie Friday? So we talked about Linux. I got Andy to educate me on a bit on Linux. Didn't know what it was. For those that don't know, it's open source, meaning multiple people across the world feed into it and code it and work on it together in the community, look after it, upkeep it, and maintain it, and develop it. Zorin is an operating system that you can install that is free. So I went away and I had a Windows laptop that was absolutely chugging on Windows 10, and it was struggling to run Teams. It was taking forever. Put Zorin on it, and put it this way, that laptop is like just brilliant for, like, if you need it for web tools, just using it, it's great.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not a Windows machine necessarily, but you can log into your Office 365 stuff online.
You can do Teams online.
Yeah. So doing that, and then you talked about charities. So what sort of charities have you got charities already lined up, or are you creating a suite of them to give out? What's the process there? What are you doing?
So he wouldn't know, to be
fair. He wouldn't know. I don't know.
I put it on a pile.
You put it on a pile. So you have a charity pile.
So funnily enough, one of them is we allocate them to particular charities. The big charity that we do is the big shout out to the Shine Cancer charity, which is Hannah Worsley.
Right. Yes.
So we do that.
Yes.
But obviously in terms of other customers or the charities, Ollie, Motion. Hopefully going to be speaking to him about providing the upstairs area with some laptops for kids to use or parents to use and log on. But we do have a lot of businesses that, you have already said this, genuinely, it's a decent laptop, it just can't run Windows 11.
Well,
what can I do?
I had the health and safety meeting yesterday for a work placement student coming.
Very good.
Very thorough. Good. It was good, actually, because it makes... people go... Ugh. I'm like, no, because actually it makes me go, I have got everything in place. Like, what do I need to review? What do I need to do? So I always like those because it's a good opportunity to go, what haven't I touched for a while that needs sorting out? But I'm like, well, we've got a workstation area, I've got a laptop, and obviously we can use the Zorin laptop, web-based tools, using things like this. They're going to be working on some Canva projects while they're here.
Very good.
I've got everything I need. I haven't had to buy a new laptop. I haven't had to do a new machine, and they're fantastic. So you've put in a blank, fresh hard disk. Is that being wiped with your fancy machines?
Yep.
Have you had to play with that yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is like industrial grade.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. proper job. It's got certification, hasn't it?
That's what Liam's been doing.
Every morning I come in, swap it over, and then it's like 14 hours. I'm like, brilliant.
Yeah.
And then I'll occasionally get a little 4-hour one. I'll be like, get in, I can put another one on.
There we go. So yeah,
although it fell apart yesterday, it didn't quite work.
Oh,
so
aye.
I taught Liam in the great knowledge of IT. I said, "Have you tried powering it off and on again?"
Yeah.
And it worked.
Do you know what's really frustrating? That
It really
does
is
fix the
frustrating.
problem.
It's been working for 3 weeks, and then yesterday it just went, "Nah, I need powering on and off."
Our router
Oh yeah.
was it 2 weeks ago? Was just acting a bit odd. It was like not distributing internet. And I went to, he's like, I'll get in touch with Andy. He went, no.
Because all I'll do.
Let's just turn it off and on again. And he went, what? And I went, yeah, sometimes. Like there is logic to it.
Oh, yeah.
They sit there.
Miserable while turning it on and off.
Yeah, well, it sits there going, here's your internet, Andy. Here's your internet, Liam. Adam, who?
Yeah.
Liam, Andy,
Yeah.
Liam, and Adam's like, hello. And he's going, you don't exist. So I was like, right, okay. So I tried turning my Wi-Fi off and this, that, and the other. In the end, I powered the thing down, rebooted it, and he went, Adam, so good. Hope you're well. So good.
For a Freaky Friday.
So sometimes that's...
If you think though, your router's on 24/7,
Yeah.
eventually it will fill up memory logs, crash.
Yeah, it forgets you were there.
Absolutely.
It forgets, or not there.
Which is why I enforce all of my customers that they should be powering down their machine every single night, where possible.
Yeah.
And then Thursday leaving it on for patch night, because obviously if you're leaving your machine on for like 7 days, 8 days, 9 days,
I shut mine down.
So
Clear the memory, not just shut the lid.
absolutely. It's
Yeah,
hard.
by the way, you might think it's off if you shut the lid. It's not off.
It's not off.
It saves all the stuff to your hard disk. But yeah, okay, so that's a really good project to be involved with. I've got a project for the young gentleman. Spielberg. So Spielberg is a TrueNAS server that...
Oh, not Stephen, right?
No. Yeah. But we use it. Yeah, but we use it for our editing, hence the name Spielberg.
See what he did there.
Right, so we need some more storage.
Ooh, that's a great project for Liam.
Could you
Yeah.
arrange that, please?
I'll send him down and he'll discuss. That'll be good because it'll be about taking requirements, writing it all down.
Yeah.
What did the customer want?
Yeah. So
Let's get this over with.
yeah. That's it. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Sorry,
so
hope you're well.
we need to. Yeah, hope you're well. Want to play footsie? So
That's a good project.
yeah, we could do some more. Couldn't we, Alina? Alina's the gaffer that drives it, so we need to make sure. So we need to figure out a good window.
Yeah.
We need to. It's got 2 500 gig drives in there, but I want to
Up 'em.
So yeah.
That'd be a good project. We'll have to work out whether it can take extra drives.
Yeah.
Whether it can take upgraded drives.
Yeah.
So all of that stuff. That'll be a good project for him. Yeah. Get him interested in
This is where, for me, IT is really kind of what people. I think the problem with IT is people don't realise what they can access and have. The reason why I have it is I've got storage, server that we use, but it runs slowly when we're trying to edit because it's not designed to be edited from directly because of the way it's storing the data. So I was like, Andy, is there an intermediary step?
Yeah.
And there was. And that's where Spielberg comes in, which provides fast access. So we're not just filling Alina's computer and all of this, we just pull it in from the network. So it's been really valuable since we've had it in action,
been
really.
unbelievable. And again, from your point of view, Liam, to understand, that was a free piece of hardware. We were weaker in it. It was no use to anybody.
It was going to recycle. Well, I I would say landfill. That's not the correct term.
Incorrect.
That's
sir.
incorrect. It's going
The
to
whole
be.
point of we got
Is it doesn't go to landfill.
Exactly.
It wasn't going to landfill, but it was going to be dismantled and all the precious metals taken off it.
Yeah, exactly. So TrueNAS is some free operating system like Zorin. It can run on lower-based hardware. We installed it for Adam, and it made a real big difference. And we did actually anticipate that eventually you will need to upgrade.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's a project, and we'll need to figure it out. How
Yeah.
can we do an in-place upgrade? Do we need to move the data off, move it back on? So there's loads of things we can do.
Yep. So there's a project for you.
Definitely.
But
Really good
but
project.
that's some of the projects that people don't realise. So that, like say, you've reused some machinery that would have not gone to landfill, but gone to the bin.
Yes.
The recycling bin, and being done. So obviously we're reusing that. It absolutely has a purpose. Selena uses it every day.
Yeah.
Taps him on the head. We'd still need boggle eyes. and a cap.
Yes.
And a moustache. Doesn't he have a moustache?
No.
No? Okay.
You're not gonna do
No moustache.
No moustache.
Glasses. Needs glasses.
Spielberg has glasses.
Yeah, there you go. But so that's a good
project.
example though, where You know, like the Zorin laptops and all of those, we always come back to it because I think the problem is everyone is so at the cutting edge of technology in terms of it's got a bit too consumerist. I'm still on an iPhone 11 Pro.
Right.
That's 2018, 19. Whereas there's kids running around in like
with the iPhone
with the
Max
whatever.
13.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And it's like
16 now.
something like that. But it's like I make sure it's up to date, it runs and all this sort of stuff.
Unfortunately, there'll come a time when you will attempt to upgrade the iOS.
It's starting to get slow.
Yeah.
And I'm at that point of upgrade.
Yeah.
Where we need to do that, unfortunately. But what I do is I upgrade it, and then, I mean, that has been the workhorse.
Oh gosh, absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
so I like opportunities where we can then Weco things and look at things like that. So TrueNAS is a great project.
No,
on
we'll
there.
definitely get that done.
Okay, so what other things is there anything else that you've touched on? Have you not got into yet? And what sort of things are you hoping to look at and do?
Like the college side of things, I've done a lot that I'm probably not going to see as much now, like older connectors and power sources and blah blah blah. Like, I had to learn about floppy disks and stuff, and I'm like,
yes,
yeah, and I'm like, well, I might see one once in the next 3 years.
You're like, oh look, it's a 3D save icon. That's what a lot of people call it.
What's that?
Yeah, that look. How do I save life? Like,
but yeah, so it's a lot of it's irrelevant now, but obviously it is still interesting seeing how things have evolved and stuff, like even learning about some of the cables that there is, and I'm like, how do I not know about that? And it's the things that I use now, like Thunderbolts and stuff that I'd never heard of, and I'm like, well, that's really cool. Like, it's anyway, yeah, but I don't know. What I'd like to learn is just to be able to function on my own.
Yeah, I think that's I think it's a really valuable point, because you come back to the cables thing. Sometimes people go, oh, it's not working. It's like, well, some USB-Cs can be just power.
Yeah.
Some can be power and data. Do you know
Yes.
which one you've got? No, because it doesn't write it on any cable anywhere.
Nope.
Pet hate of mine.
Yeah.
So what do you need to do? Try another cable. That doesn't work. Probably try another cable, because you might have picked up another one that is, So yeah, I think that being able to understand and function around things, but you're going to learn, and it sounds like you've already been learning stuff. You could be like, hey, here's a Zorin laptop tutor, and stuff like that. I think that's really cool. Networking.
Funnily enough, that's going to be next week. He's going to be making up network cables.
Nice.
Most of the most of the things now is most of the kids just go out and buy it from Amazon because you can.
Yeah.
Whereas obviously, as we've said, we are in the walls.
You are.
You cannot buy a 7.6 meter cable because there isn't one. It's either 8 or 10 or whatever.
Yeah.
So Michelle will be showing up, going, right, here's a cable, crimp, clip, click, test. There you go. I've made a network cable. Mm-hmm. So there's loads of things like that.
I had to cut that.
Yeah.
It's very fiddly.
It's really annoying.
Really.
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah. It's a skill that I need to practice and work on.
You need pass-throughs.
Do I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So pass-through is where you get the Cat6 cable, you strip it, and normally what you've got to do, put them in the right order, push them into the plug, and then you wash it, and then you crimp it. With a pass-through, it allows you to push, and then the cables come out at the end, and you can clearly see if they're in the right order. And then you put it in a special crimp tool, which not only crimps it, it also cuts the cables off at the end.
See, I was trying to do, yeah, exactly. Straight.
That's what he's all going to learn.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what we are hopefully going to provide Liam. It's that base understanding, and you'll know this, bless. We both know this, Alan, because of our age. When I was saying to Liam, right, open up Windows, blah, 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 open up a DOS box. What? Yeah, CMD. What?
I would love.
The black box thing.
Yeah, and that black box thing used to be the thing that you would only have when you turned on a computer.
Yeah, but that was really good because when I was showing him PDQ, I was showing him how to delete a file, and he's like, Dell. I'm like, yeah, delete. And he's like, all right, okay. And then rename. What else is there? And he's like, I said, CLS, clear the screen. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah.
So again, teaching him all these things, it's really clever.
/Doom.exe.
Yeah, that's the one. That's how you do get a floppy disk.
Yeah, that was that way.
That's how you used to run it.
Yeah, that's how I used to run it back in the day. That's how you launched Doom the game.
Yeah, aircolon/doom.exe.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing I was telling him about.
C:/dir. Oh, I want to see everything.
100%.
Yesterday. That's what we were doing yesterday.
What was the other?
That was like my entrance to computer.
autocomplete.
Yeah.
So dir space aircolon/d tab goes through all of the D.
Yeah.
In doom.exe.
We just lost our 2 listeners, I think.
We had. I told him we had 3.
Oh, sorry. 3 listeners. Andy listens as well.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
That's been a real.
Yeah,
good
MS-DOS, that was
yeah.
it. Like, that's our starting point.
Windows is still built on it.
I know. It's fabulous.
100%. It's a lot faster.
Yeah.
So in the next couple of weeks, he'll be doing the networking. He's also going to be sitting with Dan, and Dan's going to be teaching him about MDM, mobile device management. So he's going to be learning how to onboard these, break them down, so nobody can play
I know
with them,
nothing
use them.
about that.
Absolutely. So that's a real good another thing that he's going to be doing. And then I think we've got a plan in the next couple of weeks that he will start taking on his own tickets, but I'll be sat with him or Dan or Eddie or Michelle. And hopefully the whole idea is that we sit there and we go, what would you do in this situation? We trying to lead him by the hand, but not lead him.
Yeah.
So he's got to make his own decisions. Sadly, we'll have to let him make mistakes as long as it's not a customer mistake. You know, we have to. Because I think we learn by that type of thing.
You've got to. And it's, I mean, help desk stuff can be so varied, which is really good. I troubleshooted a problem the other day.
I troubleshooted. Is that a new application for the iPhone? I troubleshoot.
I'm just going to have a look now. Yeah.
Adam's playing with his phone for those listening, which is great podcast material.
I know, I'll leave that. But yeah, it's interesting how the tech stuff can be, some of it is off and on again, and then it's just a combination of different things. It's a really good area to get into, but that'll come as you develop your experience, no doubt.
Exactly.
So that'll be there. But okay, so you're doing that college 1 day a week?
Yes.
And how long is your apprenticeship for?
74 years.
75 years.
No, that's how long you're going to keep me hostage after.
Oh, yeah. I've already told him I'm keeping him hostage for that long.
I think it's 15 months, I think.
Yeah.
I think it can be done after 12, but like the 3 months extra is like in case you're not
for
done
assignments and things like that, isn't
assignments
it?
to finish off things like that. And hopefully, going by what he's done in 3 weeks, there's a job at the end of it for him already. Because we're growing, we need something like that. As I say, he's enthusiastic, he gets along with everybody, he's a good team, he's good at darts.
Oh yeah, the dartboard. Yeah.
I wasn't yesterday.
No, he wasn't yesterday. It was really good last week because, as you know, Thursday we all try and switch off. We were playing closest to the bull just before we left, and Liam was the last to play. It was brutal. I was winning, and it was the last to play. And Dan and Eddie were like, "Oh, Liam's going to beat the boss, beat the boss." And I went, "Don't forget, if you beat the boss, you get a P45 as a prize." He threw the dart at the board, not deliberately. He deliberately went too closest to the bull, and it bounced out. I was like, "Well done."
Central and everything. It was horrible.
We all burst out laughing. I'm like, "Well done. That's the right attitude."
Yeah, I like the dartboard.
But before this as well, I went, I did a bounce out. Just anyone on the ball, and they went, "Oh, you can pick it up, everyone gets one." And I went, "Don't need it."
Yeah.
And then it happened again.
There you go.
Another life lesson.
Yeah. It's what you need, Andy. It's what you need.
It's what you need, yeah. So no, that's going to be really good for him as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what will be great about doing the apprenticeship route rather than just studying in the classroom is you'll just get to see so many different scenarios. Like I've just said there, TrueNAS server, off you go.
Yeah.
You know, you don't always necessarily get that experience in the classroom. Depends what the syllabus is and what you're doing. You'll get absolute curveballs coming in at all angles.
What was your curveball the other day? The AS400.
Oh, yeah.
What's that?
It's a huge, huge machine operating system. I got baptised in it in my early years. Green on black. It's run by the big IBMs.
Yeah.
And it's just basically used for warehouse firms. So if you remember your branding project I mentioned about Gazelle Book Services, they've got an AS400. It's a power workhorse. It sits and runs 24/7, a little bit like Zorin, and all it does is it's green on black screen, and it's like, how much stock have you got? 30 of these? I'm shipping 5 out, 25. And it's a workhorse power
It's
beast.
just simple, but it'll just go, basically.
Yeah.
So I thought it was some sort of like bomber plane or something.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
AS400 coming in. Like,
It is a bit like that.
And that was all born out of me walking past his screen, and I'm going, oh my God, a SCSI cable. I've not seen one of them for years.
What's SCSI? It says SCSI.
Yeah. Scuzzy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
I've got a maybe interesting story. It's not a story. It's more of a query. So at home, my Wi-Fi box has been running for 3 years straight now, and every couple of months ago, we should really turn that off. Right now, I'm getting concerned that if I turn it off, it'll like meld into this completely new shape because it's so hot. Like borderline house might burn down hot. And anyway, yeah. So my thing is there a point when it's too late to turn off a Wi-Fi box? No.
Turn it off any time.
I mean, they'll have done it. Is it from your internet service provider?
Yeah.
BT, Sky, whatever it may be.
Yeah, I mean, they do design them because they know that they're potentially going to be locked in a cupboard.
Yeah, exactly.
And powered on and off every now and then. But yeah, I mean, letting it cool down is not a bad idea. But
we'll let you take home a can of air spray, and I would suggest you power it down, take it outside, and give it a good.
Yeah.
Because that's probably why. You know,
Yeah.
you've got pets. You got pets at home? No pets.
My little brother is a bit of an animal.
Hey.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's really important to sort of the dust thing is a good. I was looking at my in fact Alina's editing machine. I've got one of those air.
That's what I was saying.
Air dust, yeah, but it's like an electric thing.
Oh, nice.
So we need to take Alina's thing out to the car park and give it a blow because the dust accumulates. Why is dust an issue, Andy?
Because it clogs up the fans, which means that it gets around the processor, which means your processor overheats, and that means your machine goes.
Good noise. Good noise. But yeah.
That's the one. So that's why your router's probably getting hotter and hotter and hotter, because it's just natural. Dust gets in. Is it in a particular area? Box? Is it on the floor?
No, it's just on the unit in front of the telly.
Yeah, you know how much dust gets around, and that's probably what it is. So yeah, work it out. Work a time when nobody's going to be using the internet.
There will never be a time like that. I'll just walk in and just rip it out.
Yeah. No, but dust is another thing, and I think people might go, it's just a bit of dust, but it can really make a difference to a machine.
You should, in all honesty, your router should be powered off roughly every 2 to 3 weeks, once a month. Just like you've just seen with the internet, it makes it much faster. It brings it back. It resets things.
Well, I did the reset button, but I didn't turn it off fully because the brother was watching something. So I just reset it quickly. Anyway, I went upstairs, and then all of a sudden I was getting like 200s.
Speed-wise, download,
I was getting like 200, 250. And then randomly it would drop back down again. But it was just mental because it was like, I've never, not once in my entire time of living here, I've never seen a speed like that. And then all of a sudden I've got it for...
Definitely power it off once a month or something like that. Good idea. And we'll let you take home a can of air spray and you can give it a good blow out.
He's saying air spray, not hair spray.
Air spray.
yeah, just to be sure. Yeah. But yeah, it just makes a huge thing. So we need to do your machine, Alina, definitely. No. But yeah. Okay. So has it made you go, I'm interested in a particular area of IT?
Hardware. I've loved doing that. And I've always, because I've gone through a range of things I wanted to do, but it's always been sort of engineering based, and I just love being hands on and doing things. But I do love being at the build table. That's,
I just love that.
Have you set them loose on a Raspberry Pi yet?
Not yet. It's another project that's going to come up. Yeah, it's another project. So obviously, with his love of hardware, we are trying to sort of like move him into that area.
Yep.
So any new machines come in, any new processors comes in, any upgrades coming in, it's like. Right, off you go, Liam. There's obviously, like in any job, he's got to then go, right, I'll answer the phones, I'll do the help desk. But I think in any work of life, you can, if you do one thing a lot of the time, you're like, I'm getting bored of that now. Or I'd like a bit of a change. So hence when it comes in. I particularly think he'll love doing the phones. So when we get a brand new phone for a customer, it'll be like, there you go, Liam, crack on. If it's an Android, sort it out. If it's an Apple, we've got a virtual Mac. So you can log on to that and sort that out. So again, anything to do with that would be quite good. But yeah, I think any work of life, any whatever, you've got to provide that variety. Hence, we want him to answer the phones occasionally. But our whole idea in terms of ethos is Michelle will go back to answering the phones. Any tickets that come in, Liam will end up being the triage man. So he'll be the first port of call.
Yep.
Hopefully his enthusiasm will say, how can I fix this, Andy? Or if it's like, okay, I've got other tickets I need to offload, it'll be a case of, right, shall I allocate it to you, Andy, or you, Dan, or you, Eddie? The whole idea of that is to alleviate a little bit of work off me so I can concentrate on our DMH projects, our
all the
Hubspoke media,
the automation stuff.
co-pilots.
Yeah.
So that's the whole idea. At the moment, it's not like that, and I don't mean that disrespectfully. It's obviously because I'm training.
Yeah.
He's spending a day with me, a day with Michelle, a day with Dan, a day with Eddie. But hopefully, in the next couple of weeks, we're already seeing.
Massively.
Massively. He's already going, well, yeah, I can do that. Yeah. We can now just go, that's a new machine.
So
crack on.
Yeah.
And which is good.
Yeah,
really good.
Really good.
Yeah.
But the hardware Spielberg, that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
You'll love that.
Yeah, so we'll sort that out after this.
Yeah,
But,
exactly.
I think it's great and good on you for getting stuck in. I think it's about what you make it, and you'll find the networking stuff. If you're enjoying the hardware side, networking is actually really interesting. When you get it right, it's really quite geekily satisfying.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. Again, we went to Babel's in Barnard Castle, and we're setting up a new Wi-Fi, blah, blah. And again, that's me and Dan.
Yeah.
Not that I don't love going out to customers. I still would like to do that. But again, you'll know as a business owner, I would probably go, right, well, I can earn money by doing this. I can send Liam and Dan, off you go, lads.
Yeah, go set it up and
go
get it
set
working.
it. Now I'm earning as well as they're earning.
Yeah.
Whereas when it's me and Dan, yes, we're both earning, but obviously I'm like, I need to get back to that project. So that's the whole idea of where we're doing it. And as you say, it's growing pains of the company, which is why we advertise, and it's why we've now got this gentleman here.
Yeah. Well, good on you. I like it.
No, it's good.
He'll be, before he knows it, he'll be taking his mate's computers apart.
Yeah,
going, do you know what this
absolutely.
is?
I'd be like, yeah, that'll be 20 quid, mate. What do you you don't need to know. It's too complicated.
Turn it on and off.
Turn it on and off.
Turn it on and off. It does work sometimes.
Yeah, you just pop open command prompt so it looks like you're doing something.
Yeah. Type DIR and it'll bring up a load of stuff on the
And
screen.
then just nod going, interesting. Right?
Oh, that's more serious than I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the scammers do that, don't they?
They do.
They run a thing called NetStat, which is just a network status
Absolutely.
thing, and they go, "Oh, look at all this stuff on your network." It's like, yeah, it's just all your stuff on your network, and like there's hackers, scammers.
Anyway.
But yeah, oh well, brilliant. It's been so good to learn a bit more about you, and actually, I look forward to. We'll have to get him back on.
Oh yeah, we probably will do. Probably maybe 6 months' time.
Yeah, so let's do that Spielberg project, get that working, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, good to have you on. Our last question of the podcast is always, what are you doing at the weekend?
Probably going out. But other than that, I'll probably go and help me Nana with a bit of gardening because she needs some stuff done.
Yeah.
And then just go and get really, really drunk on the night.
The joy of being young.
Exactly.
What about you, Andy?
Nothing this weekend. We had our family barbecue last weekend.
Yes, how was that? I was thinking about you, actually.
Oh, it was really nice. We got the barbecue fired up. We got all the tables and chairs. We put all the cushions on, and we were just about to settle down, and the heavens opened. So it was all grab everything.
Run inside.
Run inside. Michelle said, turn the barbecue off. And I just looked up, and I had an inkling, and I went, let's just wait. Give me 5 minutes. She went, but the food. I'm like, just everybody okay for 5 minutes? I'll go and get drinks. 5 minutes later, cleared up. The sun came out, and we stayed out there until 5 o'clock.
Perfect.
And me and Dan doing some darts. We had our next door neighbour over, Hannah, Dan's fiance, Michelle and Hazel were all chatting. My dad was round. So honestly, it was beautiful. We timed it just right.
Perfect. To dodge the weather.
Brilliant.
So
this
relax
weekend
this weekend.
is just a bit of a relax. We're going round my father's tonight. Bless him, he wants to sit out in the sunshine.
Yep.
So he's ordered himself a 2-chair set with an umbrella. So we're going to go around there tonight, sit outside, enjoy a wee glass of wine before my horrors evening.
Oh, of course.
Of course. And then Saturday, Sunday, it is just a bit of a relax because obviously we've had a fairly busy week.
Yeah.
So we're just going to, me and Michelle are just going to chill out.
Brilliant.
What about yourself?
Nothing.
Because you've already been on holiday.
Yeah, I was meant to be DJing tonight and tomorrow night.
Okay.
And it got cancelled yesterday.
Oh, gosh, that's a bit soon.
Yeah. So
I hope it wasn't a wedding.
I don't know what it was. I was just booked to go. I don't know what's gone on. I don't know whether it's cross wires or something at the venue. And so I've now got a weekend where I'm actually very clear, which I'm, to be honest, grateful for because yes, I've been away, but I got back from like Exeter and all that on Thursday, and then went straight away again on the Friday.
Yeah.
What was it in? The weekend was busy. It's just been very busy. So I'm just looking forward to just having a couple of days just
Chill.
just steady. Yeah, just really easy. And then attack next week with
Back to the vigorous Adam.
yeah, absolutely. I just need a bit of a relax. So
Well done, mate.
all
Well
good,
done. Well
all
done.
good. So
Okay.
yeah. Have a good weekend,
Have
everybody.
a good weekend, everybody. See you later.
Bye.